having fun.
Your wife divorced you.
How's it going, guys? It's your boy Random Tall Guy. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button for me and let's get started. On today's video, I'm gonna go over my new car purchase. This right here is a 2008 Pontiac Vibe base model, front-wheel drive. Yes, they do sell these vehicles with all-wheel drive configuration as well, but this one is the boring base model. So we got crank windows and we have nothing fancy with the power door locks or anything like that. So we're gonna take a look at the vehicle. If you take a look at it, it's nice and clean. When I first got the vehicle, it was extremely disgusting. The paint was faded. The plastic trim was all ashy and faded. So I gave it a makeover. If you take a look at it, it's nice and clean. Everything, surprisingly, everything in the car works, so it was a good purchase. Obviously, these are not the stock wheels. These are aftermarket wheels that I picked up from a Toyota Celica, I believe. And it came with some good rubbers on it. If you take a look at it, has a lot of life left on them, and they're all matching. Of course, they're not perfect. They have some curb rash and some marks around it, but of course this is a cheap car, so it's gonna get some cheap wheels. Now, same thing goes with the headlamps here. These are not the original ones. The original ones was all faded and hazy and yellow, so I swapped them out with these new ones. And if you take a look at it, the car is nice and clean. I honestly never liked the look of these Pontiac Vibes. Now the body panels and everything is nice. There's no rust. There, of course, is little tiny dents here and there, but honestly the car is in good condition. The only rust spots we have is up here, right here, and right here. So the previous owner was like this old farmer guy that used this car only to drive to the city, because honestly these cars are good when it comes to gas mileage. You can get up to 33 miles to the gallon on the highway, which is amazing. This is a 4-cylinder little banger. All right, guys, so we're inside the Pontiac Vibe, and first thing first, you can see that everything here is pretty simple. It's a lot of plastic, nothing really fancy. As I mentioned, this is the base model, so we have all manual everything, manual locks, manual windows. On both sides, everything is manual. It's a base model, so it's boring. The only thing that is power that is standard on these Pontiac Vibes are the power mirrors right here. Well, other than that, everything else is basic. Over here, you have your climate control. Pretty cheap plastic. It feels cheap, it looks cheap, but it does the job. You have your AC controls right here. You have your emergency hazard lights right there and the defrost button. And I forgot to mention, this is a 5-speed manual. So that's nice because you're saving more gas and it's also way more reliable. All right, and this is the instrument cluster. Pretty simple, nothing really fancy. You got 4 little slots where you have your speedometer, your RPMs, and your fuel gauge, and your temperature. Other than that, it's pretty basic, nothing really to talk here about. I did found this out right here. This little button right here is the TPMS pairing button. One thing to note that this car has a lot of cubbies. If you take a look over here, you have a cubby right here. You have another cubby right here. You have 2 cup holders, another cubby for your change. Also right here, if you pull this down, you have another cubby. I think that's like for sunglasses or something. You have this little cubby here, which is just like a handle. Another cubby down here on both sides. The glove compartment, of course. And then, of course, another cubby underneath the armrest. Now, obviously, this is not the stock video. This is a aftermarket video that I installed. The ugly Pontiac video that came with the vehicle. The screen broke, so I decided just to replace it all together. Now, I like this one right here. This was extremely cheap. It was under $200. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bluetooth and all that fancy stuff. So honestly, it was a good purchase, and it comes with a small little cubbies where I hide all my cables. Now, something that I like about this vehicle that I just noticed when I bought it, if you look over here, you have a AC outlet, which this is pretty awesome because not many vehicles have this. So you have an AC outlet, and to activate it, you press this button right here. It turns on, shut it off because it wastes a lot of electricity, but which is pretty awesome because if you have a phone charger, you can just plug it right in. Also, if you have something small, like a small, I don't know, small appliance, you can also plug it right in. And of course, you have a cigarette lighter right here. So you can also put another phone charger right there as well. And of course, you have these cheap little air vents so you can maneuver and change the angle on where the air is going to be blowing. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Even the mirrors right here is pretty simple, nothing too fancy. Same thing on this side. So I believe I cover everything in the front. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the back. All right, guys, and this is the back seat right here. If you take a look at it, it's pretty simple as well. Honestly, it took me about 3 days to clean these seats. For some reason, I kept extracting some orange, like dirty water out of these seats. I'm not sure if the guy spilled soda or something, but I got them clean. So now the vehicle is nice and clean front and back. Of course, this one comes with the manual locks, manual windows, and a speaker. Same thing with the same handle for the doors. Nothing really fancy to brag about, but once again, this car is cheap and is reliable. And of course, we can't forget the cup holders. If you take a look over here, this right here is not an ashtray. No one smokes anymore. This right here is cup holders. You have 2 cup holders right here, really flimsy, but it works. But that's basically it for the back. Now, let me show you a feature why I love these Pontiac vibes. Now, since this is a hatchback, we can go ahead and lift the tailgate right here. And look how much room you have in this Pontiac vibe. You'll honestly have a lot of room right here in the trunk area, but also if you need to, you can go ahead and drop the seats all the way down as well, making even more room. And what I love about these Pontiac vibes, that the back seats and everything right here, the trunk, you have a lot of plastic. So it makes it super easy if you have something heavy that you can push it in and push it out without fearing that you're gonna like tear up the carpet or anything. You can also remove this ugly carpet cover here if you wanted to. But also, another thing is, I'm just gonna move this out of the way. You also have hidden storage compartments. Like over here on the side, you have one right here. This right here. And also on this side right here, you pull this open and there you go. You have 2 extra cubbies on the side right here. Also, not many people know this, but if you unlock this right here, you have another cubby right here, so you can store goods, or if you want to hide something, you can hide it right there. But not only that, this car also comes with a spare tire, which is right here. Once again, you want to unlock it, and then you can lift this up. You have a little hanger, so you can hang this door up, so you can hang the door up so it doesn't get in the way. And look, you even have more hidden compartments to put stuff. And of course, the spare tire, you want to go ahead and unscrew this, lift this up, and you have a spare tire there. Once again, even when you lift this up, you also have like hidden like crevices where you can hide stuff if you wanted to. Pretty awesome. This is the reason why I love these Pontiac vibes. It's because you have so much room. There's honestly a lot of YouTubers I'm seeing now that they're using these Pontiac vibes as campers. So they basically convert this whole hatchback into a camper where they have a bed and they have like shelves and stuff like that, and they honestly travel to different states and they camp and all that. And once again, the gas mileage on these vehicles is super good. You get 33 miles to the gallon on the highway. So honestly, compared to any other Jeep, RVs, I don't know, buses, you save so much money in fuel as you're traveling. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, if you ever need to replace the fuel pump for these vehicles, it's super simple. You never have to drop the fuel tank and drain all the fuel. You can actually remove the bench seats here in the back. You remove this one and this one. There's 4 bolts, one here, one here, one here, one here. You remove the seats, or you lift the seats, and then right here in the middle, you have a cavity door access, so you can access the fuel pump right there. So you never have to drop the fuel tank, you never have to drain or siphon the fuel out to get to the fuel pump. It's amazing, and I wish every single car does this, because it's a big headache when the fuel pump goes out that you have to drop the massive tank and remove all the wires and cross members just to access the fuel pump. Alright guys, so now it's time for me to tell you the reason why you should buy this vehicle right now. Because honestly, this car is not a Pontiac. This car is actually a Toyota Matrix, and that got rebadged as a Pontiac. The engine, transmission, suspension, the unibody, the whole vehicle, the instrument cluster, the interior, everything is Toyota. The only thing that is Pontiac is the bumpers and the side plastic trim pieces. 99% of this vehicle is actually a Toyota Matrix. Not many people know this, and that's what I love about it, because a lot of people are selling these Pontiac vibes for extremely cheap. Not many people are gonna buy Pontiacs anymore because they know that Pontiac is no longer a company, that Pontiac is not reliable, and a bunch of other reasons. But they would definitely buy a Toyota. So when it comes to these Pontiac vibes, people are selling these cars for dirt cheap, and basically you're buying a Toyota for a discount. And from experience from buying and selling cars, I noticed that when it comes to Toyota, people are always asking for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for a Toyota. Doesn't matter what the mileage is. If the mileage has 200,000, 300,000, people don't care. People are so ignorant that they're asking $7,000, $8,000 for a Toyota, which I honestly think that's stupid. And what I hate about these sellers is that they know that Toyota are good cars and that they're reliable, so they don't care that it has 200,000 miles. They're gonna ask for $7,000, $8,000 just because it's a Toyota. Which I honestly hate, because like the car is about to break. It doesn't matter how reliable it is. It has 400,000 miles, and anything can break at that point. But in their minds, they're saying, oh, it's a Toyota, it lasts forever, so I'm gonna sell it as if it's a partially used car. All right, guys, that being said, I definitely recommend pick up a Pontiac Vibe versus a Toyota Matrix, just because of the price difference. It's the exact same car, but the Pontiac Vibe is always cheaper because not many people know that they're selling a Toyota, especially if these owners never worked on their car, never opened the hood. They would never know that this is actually a Toyota. Also, what I discovered is that the Pontiac Vibe always has lower mileage, so that's another benefit why you should pick up a Pontiac Vibe. They always have lower mileage, always. This one only has 150. The other Toyota Matrix I was looking at, all of them had 250,000, 300,000 miles on it. Those vehicles are high mileage cars, and people are still asking $4,000, $5,000 for them, and I hate it. And these are the reason why you should buy a Pontiac Vibe. They're cheap. They're technically a Toyota. You have a lot of cargo room everywhere in the vehicle. Parts are everywhere. These cars last forever. You get good gas mileage, and not many people know that you're actually driving a Toyota. All right, guys, and I forgot to mention about the different engine options you can get. If you get the base model and the sport model and stuff like that, you get the basic Toyota engine, which is the 1ZZFE. But if you buy the GT model or the Toyota Matrix Sports model, I forgot which one it is, you actually get a different engine. You get a Yamaha tuned up 2ZZGE engine, the same engine that is found in the Toyota Celica GT and also one of the Lotus cars in Britain, which those cars are tuned up, so it has more horsepower, it's more faster, you accelerate faster. This car right here, the base model, you get from 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds, which is okay. It's not the greatest, but it's not the slowest. The GT one, I believe you lose or you shave off 2 more seconds, so it's about 6 seconds or 7 seconds. When it goes to 0 to 60, so that's another benefit. Now the Pontiac Vibe GT is extremely hard to find. I was so close to buy one, but it was really rusty, and the guy was asking for a lot, and I believe the timing chain was slapping, so I did not buy that vehicle. But if you're ever looking for one, if you find a GT, get it. They're extremely rare. All right, guys, so I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Let me know if you like the Pontiac Vibe. I honestly never did. I never liked sedans or hatchbacks, but now I do. As I mentioned, this car has a lot of positive things you can think about if you want to buy a vehicle. Not many really negative things. I mean, the only thing I don't like is the drum brakes in the back, but that's really like me just nitpicking here and there. As I mentioned, they sell these front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive models. If you want to make it into a rally car, get the all-wheel drive model, slap that 2ZZGE engine in there, and you got yourself a rally car. Honestly, these cars are fantastic. They're not that ugly. I've seen uglier hatchbacks. These cars are pretty good for what they are. It's cheap, it's affordable, and once again, not many people know that you're driving a Toyota, and I love it. All right, guys, so that being said, let me know if you like the car. Drop a comment, share, like, and subscribe. And as always, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button for me. It definitely helps out the channel, and it lets me know that you like the video. All right, guys, catch you on the next one. See ya. Bye-bye.